Hi, welcome to Success Factors. I'm your host, Brenda Siri, and today I am joined by Ty Hensley. He is the owner of First Round Medical. Welcome to the show, Ty.
Brenda, thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
You bet. So we are going to talk about your company in just a little bit, but I want to start by talking about you. First of all, I want to congratulate you and your wife on the birth of your second son. That's super exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We just had the experience of taking him on his first plane ride last week at 9 weeks old. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, that's so exciting. Great. Well, you have had an interesting life because right out of high school, you were drafted by the New York Yankees to be a pitcher. And that's every baseball player kid's dream, right? Is to have something like that happen to them. Tell me how it happened to you.
Yeah, so I think I have probably a more unique story than most that play professional baseball. My father also played. He played with St. Louis for a little bit, and then he coached college baseball at Kansas State. So I grew up around the game and knew it was probably something I would gravitate towards. But yeah, I worked really hard. Definitely had the God-given ability, and the rest kind of took care of itself.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary Pitch of Faith about your career on Fox Nation, and your career was really riddled with so many injuries. Can you share more about what happened to you and, how it affected your baseball career?
Yeah. How much time do we have? Well, there's almost too many to count. The funny thing is, growing up, I played basketball, football, baseball, and I never missed a single game growing up. So I didn't really know what injuries were all about until I got into professional baseball. But missed parts of 5 seasons with hip surgeries, abdominal repair, and then 3 elbow surgeries. So yeah, I kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to that. Definitely not the way that I envisioned my career going when I was 18. But I think it drove me to kind of be the man that I am today.
That's amazing. So once you knew that you were going to have to retire due to this number of injuries, how did that impact your life?
Yeah, I think it was really tough at first, especially when you do something for so long and you have your identity based off of what you do, and it's kind of all you've ever known. So finding kind of the next identity in my life was tough, but I had my wife there to help me get through it, and the birth of our first son. So
yeah. I mean, I can only imagine what you went through, because how old were you at retirement?
I was 28.
Yeah. I mean, that's so young.
Yeah,
and
retiring at 28, right?
Yeah, I mean, you went from high school to this career to being 28 years old. I mean, I know that my career is part of my identity, and I don't have millions of people watching my career on TV. So that must have been a really hard transition for you, having to, have your identity tied to something so big and be so young still and not know what you were going to do.
Sure. I think that was how I looked at it at first. And then I kind of took a step back and took a breath and, realized how lucky I was to be able to do what I did, and have that as a part of my story, driving me into the next chapter of my life. So, I used to look at it as, why me, feel sorry for myself kind of thing. But, I love what I do now. And I don't think I'd be doing what I do now if I didn't go through all that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what you do now. So now you are the owner of First Round Medical. How did you find your way into this industry?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already touched on it there, but having gone through so many injuries myself, I've had surgery performed on me by some of the best doctors in the country. So had plenty of experience with the OR, and I guess originally the way I got into it, I had a buddy who told me that it would probably be something I'd like to do. And it took me a while to come around on it. But yeah, I think just with my injury history, I kind of naturally gravitated towards healthcare and the OR.
And so what exactly does First Round Medical do?
Yeah, so First Round Medical is a medical device distributorship, specializing primarily in spine. So we work with orthopedic spine surgeons, neurosurgeons, to bring them the best technologies to help their patients in surgery. And then we go in surgery and kind of consult in surgery as well.
So you're in the OR with them.
Oh yeah, every day.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's it like to be on that side?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's much better to be standing instead of being the
one on the
patient.
table.
Yeah. But it really is a privilege. And it is very fulfilling.
Good, I bet it is. So who are your target customers?
Yeah, my speaking for myself in the spine side of the business, my target customers are spine surgeons, and the staff that goes along with them, and just bringing the best support that we can to each of our customers.
Mm-hmm. And what makes your company different from your competitors?
Yeah, I mean, go right back to the baseball story there. I think having that experience of being that patient on the table and having kind of your life taken away from you, so to speak, gives my company a unique perspective on the type of compassion and service that we need to have.
Tell me more.
What do you want to know?
Well, I have a family member who
Sure.
went through a spinal surgery this year. So you talked about the compassion. What
Yeah.
kind of compassion would I not know from this side of the operating room was happening in the operating room?
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a lot of it's being prepared for anything to happen. If a surgeon wants to, call an audible middle of the procedure, you got to make sure that you have, a backup for your backup, and you're ready for whatever can be thrown at you. And I think having the compassion of knowing that somebody's mother, father, brother, or son or daughter on the table, you kind of envision it as your own family member there, and it drives you and propels you to make sure that you're prepared for anything that could possibly happen, because it does happen quite often.
Do you offer, I know you're in the operating room, but there probably are things that people need after surgery, certain types of equipment for their healing. Do you offer things like that as well with your company to the doctors?
We do, yeah. So we partner with a company called Precision Medical Products, who offers XStim, which is the latest FDA approved bone stimulator. And yeah, so surgeons that are, worried about, maybe a revision patient or somebody that they need a little bit more care to aid infusing, they prescribe a bone stimulator for them. So we've had a lot of early success with that as well.
Good. So I know your business is, a few years old, but when you think about the next, 1 to 3 years, what does it look like for you?
Yeah, I think I could answer that in a bunch of different ways. I would say my goal ever since I was a little kid was to positively impact as many lives as what I can. And I want, everyone who works with me and works for me to bring that same level of intensity to everything that they do. I want to keep growing. We've had a lot of early success in the first year that I've been here, from not knowing anyone here to kind of getting to where we're at now, and growing as a team, and having more people come on board. So I'd say the biggest goal I have is growth, and still maintaining the high expectation service level that we need to keep the growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I know community is something that's really important to you. What are your goals for, from a community standpoint?
Yeah. Well, I think eventually I want to give back to the game that gave me so much, baseball. I would really like to start a youth baseball organization, because I know it's just kind of that whole landscape has gone off the rails, so to speak. It's just so crazy competitive, even like from a young age at 8 years old. I have a son that's 4 now, and he's just getting into it. It doesn't have to be that way, and I think it's. I think it could definitely use a little bit of revamping. But yeah, I'd say from the baseball side there, I just want to be known as a guy who does anything that I can to, help my community. And I don't know exactly what all that looks like yet, but I know, off the top of my head, that's, one of the ideas that I have.
Maybe a first-round medical, little league team or something?
Yeah, I don't know if that name puts a little bit too much pressure on all the kids, right? But yeah, something like that. I think definitely have the right people here and the right friends that I made over the course of my career to help kind of facilitate that. So
Yeah.
I think that we'll end up doing it at some point.
Good.
Yeah.
And I know you just had a big win for your company. You just signed a big contract. Tell our viewers a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So First Round Medical has partnered with Differentiators, which is under the Johnson & Johnson umbrella. And basically I get to bring the best in class implants and procedural solutions to surgeons in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So yeah, it's a big step, and I think it gives a lot of legitimacy to what we've been building.
Is it like along the lines of the neck and spine
Yep.
products?
Yes. Yep. So similar spine products to a lot of the companies out there. It's just the Differentiators name has a high level of respect, being one of the biggest orthopedic manufacturers in the world.
Oh.
And definitely has a lot of room to grow here.
Yeah, that's a big win for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. We're excited.
Good. Well, I'm excited to watch the growth and development of your company and your success, and maybe come to one of those little league teams games one day.
Yeah. I look forward to it. Thanks for having me on, Brenda.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you here today, and look forward to seeing what the future holds for you. So
Thank you.
that is it for our show today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.